It's so amazing and wonderful and astounding to realize that this sort of stuff actually does exist. This sort of stuff really is out there. It's not just fairy tales. Our world is so much more wondrous and wonderful and magical than we're led to believe.
Welcome to ET Connections and our fireside chat as we discuss the different types of beings you may come in contact with.
Ones that come to mind off the top of my head are light orbs, the Sasquatch tribe, obviously ETs.
Fairies. Fairies are fun. I mean, they're all fun. I love them all. But even just little light beings that are flashes.
Interdimensionals come to mind.
Celestial beings.
Yeah.
Your own guides, even. You may think that they're ETs, but really they're your guides, and you're just being able to tune in to a space where you can hear them better. Same with ancestors as well. You might think this whole time it was them, but maybe it just gets interesting when you start to...
Possibly angels or other beings posing as angels. We've certainly heard that as being a possibility. There was one time where we did not ground and protect, and I'm pretty sure it was a gargoyle.
Oh, it was a gargoyle.
Yeah, in our tree, and it had almost fallen on us. Like a little one, I would say. It's probably something like maybe this big-ish, a little bigger than that. Okay.
We were right under it, my dear. I looked up and saw it skitter into the tree.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that we both literally were like ducking for cover because something was falling on us, you know, it's not like it was, you know, seeing this, like seeing energy where some people can and some people can't. This was in the physical reality.
Yeah, certainly a physical being up and behind us, and almost like it was leaning down toward us a little too much and almost fell out, and we probably had a little divine intervention protection happening going on there.
I'm sure of it. So, well, yeah, grounding and protecting is really important to be sure to kind of regulate who comes and visits you. Because if not, then it's free game, and who knows who's around to hear you. So
yeah, so keep in mind that you are a powerful being. You are from God's source. We have a direct link to source, and that's of interest to ET beings and lower dimensionals alike. And the lower dimensionals, you know, they like to feed on that stuff because they don't have that direct link. When you set intention and you ground and you offer up protection, it will work. So let's get back to mentioning the Sasquatch tribe. From what we have experienced and from what we have read and researched and heard others talk about, they have like a couple different MOs. One of them is very strong odor. And I think they can change their odor to whatever they want to, but it seems like what they typically do is kind of a foul odor. How would you describe it?
in a polite way. We always thought it smelled like manure. The first time we had experienced it was in our backyard, and we could not figure out. There was so much branch snapping and smell, and we had no clue because we had never even contemplated even reaching out to them before. Mm-hmm. You know, they contact you if they want to interact, and so that was a big tell when we looked on it later after we had learned from other people who had experienced that sort of thing that's one of the ways that they reach out and
it was
they're around.
It was a very strong scent of fecal matter in the air, and we're like, oh.
Like, what's that?
But there was another time after we had learned about this. There was another time, same location, where it was actually this wonderful floral scent had come upon us, and that was rather nice. So that's one MO of the Sasquatch is scent. Another one I feel is footprints. Would you say footprints? like the sound of footprints
Oh,
approaching.
yeah, that would be...
I should say footsteps.
Yeah, because, like, whether they leave footprints or not is up to them. But the sound of footprints, that's more, I think, when they're trying to have some fun with you.
And they will have fun.
They're a playful group.
I've heard some like to blow raspberries in your ear or like poke you.
Or throw things at,
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
gently. No.
Like throwing things in your direction,
Yeah.
not hurling things at you,
Yeah.
just tossing things in your direction.
Yeah, and that's the kind of experiences, I think we've had kind of similar as well for the Sasquatch groups. We really enjoy, but a lot of snapping, twig snapping, and knocking on trees. I think those are really, really common.
Another, I wouldn't necessarily call it an entity you might come across, but rather a phenomenon, is a Zendra. Enrique Villanueva talks about it. He's from the Rama group, and a Zendra is a interdimensional portal. He has personally gone through one himself. We just watched a video of the last group who went with him to Shasta, and one of the members there in attendance had seen these two orbs in close proximity on the ground, yards away, and in between that sort of like heat look that you see when the ground's really hot. And when he talked to Enrique about it, Enrique said, "Oh, it's a Zendra, a portal to another dimension, and I guess you can go through those." I would love to see one of those one day and give that a shot.
We live in an infinite universe, so there's always an infinite possibility of anything that you may be able to encounter. Having an open mind, ground and shield, and protect yourself, so that way you know that they are benevolent sources coming through. Even ask your guides I ask my guides to screen, even with that protection, that they screen the beings that want to come and interact with me as well. These are all just, safeguards, so that way you can feel safe interacting, and you can feel safe, going to a Zendra or going through a portal, and knowing that you will return.
Yeah.
If you want.
Another story I'd heard from a CE5 practitioner was that he and a friend were out doing the protocols, and a light being, or this orb, had passed over them, not 10 feet above their heads. And it's incredible experiences like that we're all looking for and going out to experience and expand our awareness about.
One thing I'm going to interject about these types of experiences is to have a healthy non-attachment to the outcome. Mm-hmm. Desperate energy is not attractive to any being.
That's a good point, yeah.
So the more relaxed we are about, sure, I'd love if you come, if not, no, that's okay. That's kind of the energy we want to have, and that's what actually helps draw in the interest into interacting with us.
That's a really good point. You don't want to send the energy of, please come and see me. I have to see something. Where is it?
Because then they're like, no, you'll be clingy.
Yeah, be strong and confident in and of yourself. And yet another recount that I had actually just finished watching, I think yesterday, was a man doing the CE5 protocols, and he had been doing them for quite some time. And in this particular instance, he was out in a field with a friend, and there were just little light beings on the ground, and he and his friend just immediately, oh, yep, those are fairies.
And also, as we, tune our own instrument, and as we clear the pathway, and as we become more sensitive to feeling the energies around us, there comes a time where you can kind of sense, I think someone's around here. And as you build that, like we've gone out hiking, and there was this one tree down by this like creaky little river that I'm like, the fairies live there. Like I could just tell, because as you really develop and practice, you can start to then experience them when you come across them out in nature. And it was just a really beautiful, it was just this overwhelming, beautiful, loving feeling. And it was that clear cognizance of just truth. It was just the knowing that that's who resides there, is this group of beautiful fairies. So it's just, the magic is there and waiting. It's just a matter of remembering that we were already magical. Thank you so much for coming. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.